Let's take a look at the Japanese reaction to Four Emperors. Buggy reveals his outrageous appearance. Let's go. I honestly love it so much that it's a shame it only lasted a moment. I must say that the way you put the gah ha 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 is perfect. I love the unnecessary detail of the different sizes of the front and rear wheels. How does this thing work? The bomb engine, now that I think about it, might have been in the process of developing Maggie balls. If you look closely, you'll see that it doesn't deform that much. The legs and arms have the opposite joints, so you have to rotate the hips, middle of the torso, shoulders, or thighs 180 degrees, and then put the neck on the back or stomach. The neck is on the back or the stomach? The neck is just placed on the back or stomach. I don't know if he's trained in the art of dismemberment or dismemberment of the cannon, but he has a good sense and imagination to handle his abilities. Bocce. I don't remember which one of the Pirate Warriors it was. I don't remember which Pirate Warriors game it was, but I love the way he could move around with it. In the grand battle, it's more like a dismemberment car every time you dash out, so it's always in play. I remember I thought it was too much when I saw that its stats were Attack C, Defense E, and Speed C. It's charismatic to be this excited right after the lightning hit and burned so badly. I remember seeing the slope set of Spesfeshbur that went with this. And yes, Miss Arvida. You can see that her personality has improved from before the surgery, when she used to frighten people with her fear-mongering. I remember Smoker used to ride a bike that he could move with his power. Bilo a bike? It's also shown in Alabaster. For what it's worth, he can power himself, so Rogier is exceptional. Well, Richie was on a Richie bike for a moment, too. I thought he was going to burn the ship, but he didn't make it, and he and Maji got beat up by a baby carriage off-screen. If there are disconnected cars and billowy bikes, are there also regular cars and bikes? Are ordinary cars and motorcycles imaginary and can't be powered without a person with powers? Or maybe the technology is flowing from the jet ski islands, just like the shellfish. When Nami was watching the first Luffy vs. Buggy, she said, "What a battle. It's like I'm dreaming." Fighting between two psychics in the EC is originally a super rare event, isn't it? But in that rogue town, there was Luffy, Smoker, Buggy, Alvida, and even Dragon, so it was an extraordinary situation on a singularity level. Smoker would have told his boss not to tell me what to do. Aside from Buggy, Moku was able to nullify Arvida's physical disables, which was awesome. Smoyan's ability in Rogue Town was really something else. Even Alvida would have been an officer for sure in Baroque works. The only 4 people in the EC who have the ability to produce the fruit of the devil are those 4, except for Dragon, whose details are still unknown. Smoker is from the headquarters, so it's not surprising that he's treated as a fairy tale when you consider that there are actually 3 of them. In Rogue Town, which is the closest to the Great Passage, they are known as demon fruit, but at the same time, they are called monsters, which must be the sense of the EC. On the other hand, Crocodile, who is alive and can respond immediately to his abilities, is just as famous as he is. Luffy can also do vehicle tricks like Shoro Q and rubber-wrapped propellers, right? He can fly, run, and fly a UFO by himself, so he doesn't need it. Luffy's ability could be used for more stupid stuff like that, but there are a lot of decent cooperative moves like the Air Force rubber chute. Maybe it's a matter of the captain's dignity. On the other hand, Usopp, who's an ordinary guy, has a nose storm or something like that. I like the onomatopoeia and the onomatopoeia when he puts out the rice crackers. I think the early baby carriage was just trying to be a character. He used to stretch out his real name like that. Not only has he stopped doing it now, but he's hardly doing any of his disjointed moves anymore. He's got abilities as crazy as Luffy's, doesn't he? So, you're saying that Buggy is a human being? That's Roger's ship too. I've seen the same thing in Tom Jerry, so it's possible that the dismemberment was a model Nika. I'm sure Luffy would be jealous of how good it looks. Luffy was so moved when he had a simplified version of the Candle Champion put on him that he cried in an honorific voice. I don't think he'll be able to beat the billion-plus pirates, but if he decides to do this, he'll be able to beat most of them. Kabaji did a super job of hanging Luffy on the executioner's table, but he's not talked about much. And he was able to get into a fight with the Marines from headquarters when they came rushing into the plaza. If he were a proper swordsman without the juggling restrictions, he'd do pretty well. When he decides to do something, he decides to do it. I wonder how powerful the Dismemberment Festival will be after all. If you can coin your entire body as an armament, everything becomes a blunt weapon. Barabbara will only become a real weapon after he learns how to use haki. I don't think there's much difference between crocodiles flying with only his lower body made of sand and what he's doing as a person with powers. It's the same as a baby carriage being able to run on the ground of a Kenzan and floating in the air with his upper body. I love how you use your ability to surpass even the world's best slashes like a baka. I'll tell you what it was used for at One Piece Academy. You're a god for coming up with the idea of a sidecar.
Thank you for watching. Good button and subscribe to our channel, please. See you soon.